Hello everyone, my name is Solomon SK for Coffee and RPGs, where we cover the latest news, trends, and updates for the RPG gaming genre, including MMOs, survival, JRPGs, and the like. Really quick before we begin, if you do not appreciate the subscribe button, rolling on items it clearly doesn't need at the end of every dungeon raid, go ahead and smack it with the bell notification icon right next to it to let it know that we don't appreciate all the ninja looting that's going on. So one of the articles that I went over in one of my 60-second RPG news little clips that I do was this one, and it says here that this Russian retro futurist survival game looks like Stalker and Tarkov's Alien Baby. And when it said retro futurist, I know I had to make a dedicated video on this game alone, because as a fan of games such as the Fallout series and the Outer Worlds, Bioshock, they all have one thing in common, and they utilize that retro futurist look and just the style of sort of that World War II Americana period. And yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I'm also a big fan of steampunk, which kind of ties into that sort of aesthetic, but not really. But you know, you can see some similarities between the two, obviously. Now, after we go through all the information to see what the game is about, we will do a reaction video. I did actually go through the trailer. It's a 2-minute long trailer that they released about 2 weeks ago, showcasing what's in the game, and it's still pretty impressive. But right off the bat, I'm telling you right now, in terms of the retro futurist aesthetic or the look of the game, I could kind of see it, but not really. I'm really hoping to see more of that sort of look and feel, maybe as we get more information or they release new trailers further along down this year. But in any event, let's go ahead and go over this article. Now, this game does have a tentative window of a late 2021 or early 22 release date so far, so relatively pretty close to where we are right now as of recording of this video. But it does go on to say that the genre is something of a mishmash of MMORPG and survival games. But when I read that, I kind of instantly think of games like DayZ. I mean, there's clear similarities between this game and DayZ, considering that they both have sort of like creatures like zombies and whatnot, and they're both survival games anyways. And yeah, DayZ, if you kind of squint at it a little bit, a lot of people will consider that an MMORPG. I personally don't, but it's still within that realm anyways, in my opinion. Pioneer's big influences does include Escape from Tarkov with a pinch of Stalker, and I think that's dead on. You'll see a lot of the elements in this game, especially its inventory system, and you look at it and you tell yourself, yeah, that's clearly Escape from Tarkov right there. And to be completely honest with you, if I didn't know that this trailer was specifically a Pioneer trailer, I would have thought it was a Stalker game just right off the bat, just because of its similarities between its survival mechanic, if you will, as well as the sort of scary monsters and zombies and all these other creatures that you do encounter in the Stalker game as well. Now, the reason for the retrofuturism tag, if you will, within the title is because of this, and it says here that the setting seems specifically inflected by the classic sci-fi novel Roadside Panic, a Soviet island isolated by some sort of man-made anomaly into which you and other players forage in search of treasures, information, and survivors. And so based on that, I would assume that this novel takes place maybe during the 40s and 50s in Soviet Russia as well. There's also a crafting system, but what kind of RPG would be an RPG without a crafting system, in my opinion? But anyways, there's also a big emphasis on customizing weapons and keeping them in good condition and in repair. And when I read that, it kind of reminds me of the sort of repair system that they had in Fallout 3, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, while players can explore solo, certain locations and enemies will require multiple players to work together. And then there is the PvP element on top of that as well. And again, taking other survival games out there such as DayZ and even Rust, and especially Tarkov, PvP is a huge element to those games as well, and it kind of reinforces the whole survivability aspect of the game. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure how they will implement it. The article does suggest that it will have some MMORPG elements as well, and even raids perhaps, but then again, define raid in this game, right? But anyways, there's also a dynamic weather system in the game, and so regardless of whether you're playing during the day or during the night, you're always going to get something different. Now, I know I had the trailer playing above me while going through this article, and for what it's worth, I just did that to kind of give you a sneak peek, kind of what to expect and whatnot. Other than that, it's also just the way I like setting up my videos in terms of its composition, the way it looks, my trademark, I guess you could say. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over the video. Very desolate area. See, I appreciate the look of the van at least. When I saw that, you kind of get a sense of that sort of VW Beetle, or not Beetle, sorry, bus look and feel. So, you know, that kind of gives you a little bit of that 40s, 50s look. I'll say that.
Все из твоего отряда мертвы. Ты теперь один. Остров изолирован аномалией. Во-вторых,
again, everything about this game looks like Stalker.
четкие ребята вроде нас с тобой. Всекаешь расклад? Мне нужны люди, готовые пойти на самые жесткие дела. Пришибленные типа тебя. А ты теперь как раз мой должничок. Ну так что?
So when you look at this game, you see a lot of modifications that look old and dirty and grimy, which I really do appreciate. It kind of gives you a sense of, I don't know what's the word. It gives you a sense of urgency that you really need to be resourceful and just utilize everything that you can. From what I can tell, be very resourceful, I guess you could say, like, you know, and be craftiness, craft something. You gotta be able to craft well. Jeez. Anyways. So it looks like you'll have settlements throughout the map. A lot of melee combat. Yep. Sorry, let me go back here. This is what I was talking about earlier. You see the inventory system that they have laid out here, and yeah, it looks very similar to what you see from Escape from Tarkov. I can't remember what the inventory system looked like in Stalker. I want to say it might have looked something similar, but I can't really confirm that, unfortunately.
Выжившие, мы кое-как перестроились под новый лад, создали укрепления, укрытия, стали исследовать остров и искать решения и причины.
So that's a pretty awesome looking character, admittedly. You have a lot of Russian, I don't know what you call that, iconography. A lot of, yeah, it just looks like a really awesome character. It looks like someone you'd probably have to fend off.
Среди нас было много разногласий и ненависти.
Now, this is one of the things that the article did highlight a little bit. I mean, obviously, this is going to look like a Pip-Boy, or not look like a Pip-Boy, but have some sort of influences of a Pip-Boy, where you have like a screen and you do all your inventory management maybe there, or do whatever. But the way it feels, the button pressing, I guess, sound effects, it doesn't feel modern. It feels very... I don't know what's the word, like there's a hollowness to it that makes it feel sort of retro, I guess you could say. But either way, looking at the interface, the UI there, it still looks very modern, like especially with the whole battery power on the upper right hand corner there. There's really no retro futurism look and feel to this UI, unfortunately, in my opinion. Yeah, just way too modern. That kind of reminds me of Valheim, to be honest with you. This this is the part that absolutely killed it for me. When they say they're going for that retrofuturism look, like I mean, I get why they did this. You can't really talk about, I guess, Russian mobs, Russian gangs without having that one group of people where they wear Adidas like outfits and apparel. Like, I get it, but when you think of Americana, you don't really think of Adidas or anything, or attire that looks anything remote like this. And so when I saw this, I just thought, yeah, I don't know how they're gonna try to fit the sort of retrofuturism look to it, but in any event, again, I understand why they put it in there, but this did it for me. It's just way too modern. So you'll notice that within, I guess, the previous 30 seconds of the video, you'll hear that beeping sound, and there's some sort of like I don't know what that beeping sound indicates. Maybe it's some sort of enemy, like a special enemy nearby of some sort. And um, yeah, you figured you'd probably hear something more closer to a Geiger counter, you know, because I figured radiation would probably be a huge problem in a post-apocalyptic world. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just playing way too many Fallout. But yeah, I don't know what that beeping sound is, but it does kind of give you sort of that ticking, I guess, time bomb, clock running out, sort of feeling a little bit here and there. Oh, there it goes again. There you have it, Pioneer.
Короче, приключения
And even
можно
then, I'm
себе найти.
probably not even saying that correctly. Maybe that's the way you spell Pioneer in Russian. So really quick, going back to this article, when I said that some parts of this game reminded me of Valheim, I forgot to mention this part of the article, and it does say that the game mentioned raids, allies, monsters, and a home base that has to be protected from marauders. And so I think that's really cool too, to be able to have base building in the game, something that you could actually craft and take pride in, but at the same time also protect it from like those crazy monsters that you saw in the trailer as well. And so I think, yeah, I'm seeing a lot more base building in a lot of these RPGs. They've become more of the norm these days, in my opinion. And again, Valheim is a clear example of that these days. Now, really quick, I gotta give credit where credit is due. And in terms of making fun of the subscribe button and whatnot, I actually got that from Mr. Ballin. And if you don't know who he is a YouTuber with well over 1 million subscribers. And he does these storytelling videos, and they're always scary stories. The way he describes it is very intriguing. I really do enjoy watching his videos. And he's also a former Navy SEAL, which again I do appreciate. So I know he's done a lot of amazing things in his military career and whatnot, but yeah, he's always making fun of the subscribe button as well as the like button, saying that it does these really stupid things that we might be able to relate to in one form of another and whatnot. But I thought I'd do the same thing, but gear it towards more for some of the things that we us as gamers might find annoying, like rage quitting or something and whatnot. And so I thought I'd try doing that, giving it a little bit of more humor and whatnot. But anyways, like I said, gotta give credit where credit is due. But yeah, if you do enjoy these type of videos where, you know, I just go over a game that you might be interested in and do sort of a reaction of it and whatnot and kind of go through it as well, let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to make more of these type of videos, or a little bit more easier to make, admittedly, than my sort of like 10-15 minute news story videos that do take a while to make. And I do apologize, I really haven't been making those as of late, just because I'm short on time and with the whole graveyard shift that's going on. But yeah, still trying to kind of finding my voice here, trying to find the groove of things. You figured I might be able to figure that out after doing this for over a year, but man, balancing time with work and all those other stuff, yeah, it could get pretty challenging. But anyways, I'll stop blabbing, finally let you guys go. Thanks again everyone for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers again everyone.